hot dog both is and is not a sandwich. Sometimes I'll write something that divides things up into categories, and the problem with writing like that is that it invites a kind of toxic overcommitment to the taxonomy. If you say there are two kinds of donut, filled and round, the cruller folks will be at your door, torches lit, before long. One way to take something complex and make it feel bounded and understandable is to create a taxonomy for it. Look at all these books. Books are endlessly complicated, and there are so many different ways to think about them. But, if you want, you can start by dividing them up into categories. There are two kinds of books, fiction and nonfiction. Fiction books are about things we made up, and nonfiction books are about factual, real things. By putting these things into boxes, by categorizing them, this gives us a tool for understanding them better, for sorting them. But it's important to remember that taxonomies are just lenses, just ways of looking at the world. They're not real. They're just imaginary boxes we made to take a complicated space of things and try to understand them better. Instead of dividing books up into fiction and nonfiction, we could divide them up by subject matter, or by the author's nationality, or by the publisher, or the font choice. There are lots of books that don't cleanly map to fiction or nonfiction. Like, take a story that's based on a true story but takes many liberties with the source material, or a fantasy cookbook full of real recipes. Categories can be hazy. I think it's important to remember in situations like this that taxonomies are made up, imaginary. If there are situations in which they're not useful, they can simply be discarded. Is a fantasy cookbook full of real recipes fiction or nonfiction? The actual answer is, it doesn't matter. The distinction was arbitrary in the first place. Not all categorization schemes are useful in all situations, and we can invent new ones whenever we want. Different taxonomies can be useful in different situations. A mapping of books into nonfiction and fiction makes it easier to find them when you're in the library, but instead you could divide books up by the kind of mood that you need to be in to read them, and that's useful too. Some taxonomies are antiquated, and we've all kind of collectively agreed that they're actively harmful, or worthless, like racism, or astrology, or Myers-Briggs. Sometimes categorizations are meaningful and have useful predictive power, but often they're not, and it's incredibly important to be able to see taxonomies as fragile and disposable, and discard them when they cease to be useful, which is why